What's up, everybody? My name is Kason. Welcome back to the WDL. This is Season 4, Week 2 of the Heindler League here, the third video for this week. And we have a four-way tie in first place heading into these battles. We have Catrah of Sandrock, LucianRamz of Lone Shadows, King with the Kansas City Killas, Xeno, coach of Polarity, all in a four-way tie for first place right now. And we also have a four-way tie for fifth right now with Daewn, coach of Inquisition, Snark with a rise from the crashes, OdaibaDiver with Odaiba Diving School, Impaler with three-legged pants, and then obviously a four-way tie as well in ninth place, all with the 0-2 record, Dr. Dickhead, coach of the Knobgoblins, Kyouma of S.E.E.S, Maughanman with Dirty Slushie, and Sixeight of Zasshu. They are all trying to get on the board this week, trying to get in that win column and make things interesting. So I'm really excited for the fights this week, you guys. Every single player will be battling one time in this video. And this is how it's basically supposed to be scheduled for the division. So this will be the most normal version of this week that we've seen yet. So that being said, 6 awesome battles coming up. Let's jump into them. Kicking off the Heindler League this week, we've got Daewn, coach of Inquisition, versus Maughanman, coach of Dirty Slushie. Maughanman rocking that ice water composition with Elda, king of the Lions, alongside the support Filleid and the tank Nasha. On the other side, we have a full axe team, so bringing out the damage here. Triple axe with Halloween Lucio, Summer Killfay, and Cyrell. You'll love to see it. Call of the Wild coming out with that accuracy and slash attack piercing for the Cyrell. And I love this tech. We saw this in a different video. This is the new Wind Veritas TMR. I think it is a generally just top TMR anyway, but this is exceptionally good versus a unit like Elda, King of the Lions, who has AP Restore in his kit. It nullifies it, takes away 10 AP, and he could very easily run into AP issues in the rest of the fight here. Halloween Lucio going to go next. He's going to walk forward, so only got the opportunity to, I think, just get one buff off. He is going to go for his limit break, King of the Dead. This is going to give him haste, though, make him nice and speedy, protect, remove, healing power down, a bunch of good things here. As Maughanman's Elda is in range to deal damage, he is not. He's going to get Fortress of the Lions, so this is pretty huge. I think Elda, King of the Lions, can be good on one buff, but he is amazing on 2 buffs. That is my personal opinion. As Cyrell comes in with the double resist, going to get that pierce attack resist up on the party. That can be very useful versus Elda. He does have a way to drop it with his limit break. We'll have to see how this goes, as Ice Vitalization going to catch on the entire team here, get Protect on everybody. However, Dispel Slam comes in, and that removes the Protect, as Halloween Lucio is very good at getting rid of that. Does a ton of damage, honestly, to the tank, and not only is Halloween Lucio dodgy, but apparently Cyrell is here, as Nasha's going to miss. Lion's Drain misses every single hit. Oh boy, this is looking really good for Daewn, and not so great for Maughanman here. As the attack comes in from Summer Killfay, this one tanked up better by the Nasha, obviously, but she is not long for this world. Halloween Lucio is going to take her out. Filleid, I imagine, going to try and go for a full life here soon, but they are going to start 3v1ing on this Elda, and is he going to be able to stand up to them? He's a fantastic unit, but I'm not sure if he has the accuracy. Barb Blizzard are going to come up, and I think they even got the accuracy buff from Filleid. That might have gotten dispelled, though, is the problem. I'm not entirely sure. 36 AP left on Elda. What can he get done? Lion's Drain comes through, and this time the attacks do land except for one miss on the Summer Killfay. So that is a much better outcome for Maughanman's Elda this time, but they are getting chained down here as the limit break. Summer Fatale comes out from the Killfay. How much damage is it going to do? 4,000, and it drops the CT. Taking a look at the turn order, does it change anything? Not really. I think Halloween Lucio is going to go before Elda anyway. Filleid going to go for a Cura, but it only heals for 2,000. This should be a big old slash chain on Elda. Dispel Slam comes through for 5,300, not quite enough to take him out. And the AP bars are going way down for a lot of these units, but Elda basically has nothing. Just going to have to standard attack here, and Frost Axe is going to come through. He is going to drop. The re-raise will bring him back, but there's just no way out of this. Unfortunately, with Nasha dropping as fast as she did and the accuracy not being there for the first hit or two, I think it's just too much to ask for. Filleid does have full life in his kit, but he would have to go for it on Elda. And if he does full life, which it looks like might be even turned off at this moment, I think it would have been on the tank anyway. Ice Vitalization going to come through, and this will be a slow but sure win for Daewn, a player who I said that I thought might have the best team in the entire division, so my eggs were in the Daewn basket here. Making me look smart, at least in this battle here, obviously, as he comes up with the win over Maughanman. Inquisition looking very, very good in this battle. Huge congrats to him, and let's check out the next one. Battle number 2 here, guys, is going to be S.E.E.S versus Kansas City Killas. And it's going to be Kyouma versus King. King running the same comp. I think he has run this all 3 times to this point. I could be wrong about that, as the preemptivity buff going to come out from King Bradley, pun intended here, as the Summer Glaciella is on the other side. And this is a full red mage comp from Kyouma. Very cool to see. We've got Sid, the Thunder God himself, Orlandu, alongside Murmur and Summer Glassy. I will say, Orlandu could have a tough time versus a couple of these Earth units, but I expect Summer Glassy to tank up damage quite well against Bradley here. Montleonis is actually going to get baited out. Stone Throw Mastery coming out. I do wonder if King meant to have that turned on. I oftentimes have that skill turned off for Mont so that he makes sure to get those buffs online and even use some of those other skills. We'll have to see here. More going to start channeling something. I don't think this is anything offensive. It could be a Calamity Guard on the party. That is something that we've seen King use multiple times here. Summer Glassy started off the battle, very little damage. Swordplay Thunder God, though, I think is going to hit the entire team here for Sid. Also going to give himself some haste, which will be nice. And that one-shots the more. That is actually huge. King Bradley and Mont soak the damage incredibly well, though. But it is a 3v2, and Calculated Rend, good lord, how much AoE resistance does Sid have right now? It has got to be like 80 plus. He soaked that Bradley damage insanely well. He heals back up to full. It's basically like King Bradley did nothing to him. And damn, this is a fantastic response by Kyouma here. Murmur coming in with the jamming thrust, 3,700 damage. And I think just being close to Summer Glassy, I think that probably also helped mitigate damage. I didn't mention that. But still, the fact that Orlandu tanked it that well is crazy. 428 damage from the Mont Limit Break. King Bradley should go for another Calculated Rend, but against a Lightning unit, when King Bradley is dealing less than 2,000 damage, and I think this is legitimately a maxed King Bradley, Kongu is basically healing Orlandu to full. He says, 120 cost you to my ass. I can 1v1 this guy, no problem. This is just exceptional by Kyouma. King is a fantastic player. Started off the season 2-0, but Kyouma is coming to play this week. And unfortunately for King, as much as his favorite player, Patrick Mahomes, was able to pull off the win in the championship game, I don't think he's going to be able to swing this one here in WOTIV. He is going to get a massive heal back on Mont because of that limit break earlier. Summer Glassy going to get the standard attack off. And Murmur Flare actually should do a decent chunk, considering Mont is much more bulky to physical. Yeah, 6,300 is pretty respectable here. But this is just a matter of time. This time, Stone Throw Mastery actually doing quite a bit of damage here. And you can see how much better the AoE resist is for Orlandu compared to the unit resist based off of that damage. But the thing is, if your tank can hold hate, and you're not against somebody like Alaya who can do a multi-single target attack, AoE resistance sometimes can be all you need if you can force those attacks to hit somebody else as well. So, very well designed by Kyouma. Crush Weapon is going to come in. And obviously, this battle just kind of stalling out a little bit here, as I think we all know what this outcome is going to be. Summer Glassy going to try and take him down. This Mont is being such a pain. And honestly, if Bradley could have done a little bit more damage, this fight would have maybe went a different way, as Mont is doing an exceptional job tanking on his side. But regardless, huge congratulations and very well played to Kyouma. The build, the extra AoE resistance, the damage mitigation, I think coming from just being near Summer Glassy, I believe, that was exceptional. I'm honestly astounded at how little damage Orlandu took, and he basically life stole any damage he took up to that point. So very, very well done, and congratulations. This next battle should be juicy, guys. It looks like we've got OdaibaDiver here on the right side with a full Black Mage composition, and Xeno rocking a full Mace composition. And this one should be awesome. OdaibaDiver, one of the best players around, but Xeno with a incredibly hot start last week. Honestly, was one of the most impressive players, at least impressive new players in our league over the course of the first week here. As the Ildira Limit Break, the Giant Magic Health Shield online for Winter Wrath, I think things are looking quite good for Xeno early on here. Winter Wrath can honestly be one of the most effective units in the game at shutting down somebody like Helena. So this should be interesting. And obviously the Protect from Katia mitigating any sort of physical damage that would come in. Obviously there's not really any coming from Odaiba's side here. But this should be really interesting. The full Mace comp, I've said it before, Mace cards I think are one of the strongest in the entire game. You oftentimes don't see full mace teams, obviously, unless Raph is in there as well, just as a tank. But this should be juicy. And the zombie TMR is online for Mish, and this is interesting strategy coming out from Odaiba. I didn't quite see the movement. Was that 2 movement? I think Mish might be rocking the bow tie here to try and draw hate away from the other 2 units. At least give Severo some time to buff up and stuff like that. But I'm not entirely sure. I would have to watch again to see his movement. I think it was only 2 spaces. Helena is going to walk over, get that spell of shielding online. Gives her a nice physical shield, but she doesn't need that against these magic units as the Calamity card comes out from Catrah. And this team from Xeno, I expect to be quite tanky with all of these buffs and the shields online. Befuddling Spearfall is going to do a good chunk of damage to the Mish to start this fight out. And what is Catrah going to do? She's going to start channeling another buff here. I think this is the 3rd of the fight. Mish is going to hit with a flare. This will break barriers, though. This is... I know that doesn't look like anything. 512 damage, obviously gets healed back, but that shatters that 7,500 magic health barrier for Winter Wrath. Honestly, I think Mish did his job already. He's going to get re-raised, so he might get an opportunity to deal damage, but that's exactly what Odaiba needs for Helena to start trying to put in some work here. Got that re-raise seal online, so if Severo is able to deal damage to the other team, they won't be able to remove her re-raise. Although I'm not sure if there's re-raise on the team anyway, as Winter Wrath is going to come in, going to clean up the Mish, and this is now a 3v2 in Xeno's favor here. And the Haste Perpetuator does finally come online for Severo. It took a while. It felt like it took a couple of turns, but Odaiba managed to take his time buffing and still get that haste off, which I think is what he was trying to do. And we'll see. With that barrier gone, can they actually get through this Winter Wrath? She is still incredibly tanky versus magic damage. How much does Helena actually get done here? She's starting to channel a spell. This is the Rose Blast, 2485. Winter Wrath tanks that better than almost anyone in the entire game, and she obliterates those health bars on the other side. And this is honestly just the perfect answer from Xeno into this team, I think. Flare going to hit for 1,000 damage. Winter Wrath is unreal versus magic. This is just crazy. Absolute amazing showcase to see here as the Calamity Guard going to hit. And, you know, I think about it right now. I think the Calamity Guard might have even overwrote the magic damage shield, so I'm not sure how much that would have mattered. But regardless, she is tanking this damage insanely well. And the Calamity Guard is there now, as Rose Blast is only going to hit for 1,300 on the Winter Wrath, and even that, Ildira soaked this damage well. So this setup by Xeno is incredibly well done. Helena will get revived here, but unless she can one-shot this enemy team, and I have seen nothing that tells me she's going to be able to, this is just extremely well done by Xeno. A huge win by him. Obviously a great call bringing Winter Wrath into Magic. I think we all know how much she shuts that down. But this is a very impressive start to the WDL season and career for Xeno. 3-0 right out of the gates, beating some really good players. Exceptionally well done, and huge congrats to him. Next battle, we've got Dr. Dickhead, coach of the Knobgoblins versus Snark and Arise from the Crashes. Dr. Dickhead looking to try and get on the board with a win for the first time, and we have an Addison Rae sighting, you guys. We have not seen her yet in the WDL. What can she do? She's popping that Soul Regram on the Evasive Vistral, which nullifies those guaranteed hits. The Wind Veritas TMR coming out on the other side, though, from Snark. I do like this TMR in general, as this is an interesting comp coming up from Snark, actually. We've got Dialdo, we've got Winter Luartha, and Marguerite. So double Pierce team alongside the Time Mage. And I wondered if this would be a haste or a quicken. It is a quicken. Try and get Dialdo across the map as quickly as possible. Get him in position to tank so that nobody else is taking any damage here. And on the side from Dr. Dickhead, I think that was only 2 movement from Balo. So it looks like probably Bowtie to try and increase that initial hate, as the Soul Regram is online for both Addison Rae and Vistral at the moment. As Javelin Fall one-shots Balo, he lives on his courage, but my goodness, this is the second time this week that we have seen Winter Luartha just do disgusting damage. And Dialdo, can he clean it up? No, he does not quite have the range to kill this Balo here. Needle Toss coming out from Vistral, not much damage, gives him CT up, drops the unit attack resist for Dialdo here. And I will say, if Dr. Dickhead is going to win this, I think this is going to have to be a hard carry by Addison, unless the accuracy is just not there to hit Vistral, which it is very possible that it's not. I think we're going to find out right now here as the Javelin Fall comes through. It's there, 9,500 damage. and basically would have killed the Vistral. However, that Addison Rae Courage and Heal Back shows its face right there. Looks like some healing power down, I'm thinking, was the case as the Vistral only goes up to 50% health. He's going to a standard attack, and Vistral can be built dodgy, but you just wonder, is he going to get enough damage down to be able to clean this up? Existential Deliverance comes out from the Dialdo, but this is a really cool composition from Dr. Dickhead, as it is full. Basically, you have to kill them twice team. They all have Courage. They all have a heal back. Obviously, 2 are from Addison Rae, and Balo has his naturally, as the Jamming Thrust comes out from Addison. Good damage there, actually, onto the Dialdo. 4,800 is respectable. And even with this guaranteed hit Nullify, unfortunately for Dr. Dickhead, the Winter Luartha is accurate enough that she has had no problems hitting this Vistral. 4,100 damage from the Meteor. Dialdo's going to start chaining up. But more important than the Vistral is this Balo, who's tanking up nicely, and they are all stacked up for Addison Rae. If she can hit a huge limit break, this could be game over, honestly. Live and Loving It is coming out, and we have never seen this animation in WDL before. Posts the selfie on Instagram, lands a double slow, and this fight looks like it is probably over for Snark. It looked very good for him early, but man, this slow strategy of basically just having everybody with Courage and healbacks. Addison Rae doesn't even need to give Balo one. Oh my god, I take that back. Addison Rae just got obliterated by Winter Luartha. This fight might not be over. Who does she go for? She needs to go for... Oh my god, she went for the wrong person. I think she killed the Marguerite. But I think she goes again. The slow landing before is the difference in this fight. If Winter Luartha gets another turn, she kills Addison Rae, but she's not going to get the turn. My god, I thought that was going to be really one-sided at the end, and Winter Luartha made that a game for sure. That was actually really, really good. An awesome battle. Congratulations to Dr. Dickhead on his first win of the season. And let's check out the next battle. Two fights remaining in this video here, and we've got the 2-0 Catrah versus the 0-2 Sixeight. Sandrock versus Zasshu. Will those streaks continue, or will those streaks be broken? As it looks like Catrah is rocking an Ice Water comp of Reagan, Snow, and the OG Zazan. Obviously, Reagan get that AoE buff online. Does not have his Courage up yet. But looking at the other side here, we've got a Wind unit in Sodali, which is going to have a tough time against 2 of those Ice units, alongside Mustadio and Engelbert. The Haste TMR on Mustadio going to give him a nice boost in the turn order. Can he land anything impactful here, as Engelbert is going to try his best to tank up? He's going to get that Immortal Spirit online and walk forward. Zazan going to get that late Keen Blade going, and that CT up and slash attack up is going to be really nice here for Catrah as the close call comes through. And I think this is the buff that Snow really wants to get online to be an impressive tank. The Courage is nice, but I think he's more of a 2-buff tank realistically. Mountain Dive tanked up pretty well by Engelbert, I would say, as I think he only took about 3k damage from those 2 attacks. Seal Evil hitting for 4,500. Not bad at all for the level 120 Mustadio here. Shadow Flare coming out, going to drop that AoE resist. How much damage does it do with the elemental disadvantage? Not a whole lot, unfortunately, as that healback does bring Reagan back to full. Zazan's going to come in with the Killer Cross, drop that human attack resist. Engelbert, can you get yourself out of the way of your other allies a little bit? He moved a little bit out of the way. You're going to have a diamond to hit both here. A Spirit Breaker comes in for 2,200. Engelbert does gather a ton of hate, though. And the thing about Reagan is he is an amazing unit. He does not have a diamond attack, I believe, in his kit. If he does, maybe it's his limit break, but I don't think he has one. Mid burst, I think that was, coming up from Mustadio, hitting damage onto both Zazan and Reagan, but Sodali needs to do something big here. Would love to see a limit break with a charm coming out here, as Mustadio is going to put more damage down. And I honestly maybe sleeping on this Mustadio a little bit. Rush Not Thy Fate comes down, drops the CT. Reagan's almost out of AP. Engelbert crucially living with the Courage. Can he heal anything back with a Retribution Drain? Yes, he will. 3,400 damage and heal himself 24. This is actually looking pretty decent for Sixeight here. Can he get himself on the board with a win? Zazan coming in with the Jamming Edge is not enough to kill the Engelbert. Snow needs to seal this kill here, or it will be over for Catrah. He's going to take down the Engelbert, and that is massive. Sodali, does he go for the AoE Rush Not Thy Fate? I expect he probably does. As Zazan is weak to magic, he should be able to clean up a kill, I think, on him. He does. It's 67. No, it does not kill. 6780. Does Mustadio kill him? Yes, he does. Multi-burst coming through, not mid-burst. Whatever the hell I called that earlier, that was incorrect. As it looks like somebody timed out on their phone. I think I was told this by Catrah, actually. I think it just basically does this during the Esper animation. But Maughanman flies up into the sky. And as we skip through the Esper animation, somebody unlocks their phone. The Esper comes down, deals a little bit of damage, activates that map effect, but Shifting Strike from Snow is enough to seal the kill on Sottily. And Mustadio's going to need to do something big here. He needs to land like an arm shot, like a disable or something, or else this is probably inevitable that Snow's going to close the gap and kill him here. Spirit Breaker comes in for 5,100, not quite enough. Mustadio, do you have a disable in your kit to give yourself a chance here? He's only got the AP for a standard attack. Snow is up to bat. This should be over for you guys. And it looks like Catrah is going to remain triumphant in this battle. I will say, guys, I've mentioned in the draft recap video, Sixeight unfortunately has Alaya the Alabaster on his team, but he does not have a way to play her as he doesn't have two low enough cost units to make her work. So he is playing at a handicap versus the rest of these players. So honestly, given the fact that that was the case and somewhat of an elemental disadvantage against Catrah, who is 2-0 at the point in this season, I think this was actually pretty impressive by Sixeight. So hands off to both of these players. Well done by both, and a huge congrats to Catrah for remaining undefeated. Heading into the last fight for the Heindler League for Week 2, LucianRamz running an old reliable strategy here with his double Shadow Lynx comp coming alongside the Sylvie here this time. And it looks like on the other side, a double strike team with Edward Elric, Mariluk, and then Dario there to tank. So a little bit of lightning and wind going together here. As Impaler looking to try and shut down LucianRamz for the first time. He is 2-0 currently on the season. Edward Elric going to get that Auto Male's Crux ability going. AP Auto Restore, Dispel on hit can be pretty impactful as Shadow Lynx on ice going to get that regen, going to start walking forward. Mariluk with the Focused Fists. This is a fantastic buff for both her and Edward. Increases some damage, gets some protect going as the Draining Seal is a guaranteed hit from Dario onto the Shadow Lynx. And I don't think there's any hate on the side of LucianRamz. Shadow Tether does land the stop though, so as good as that Draining Seal looked to start the fight, Shadow Lynx immediately makes it bad. Shadow Lynx is going to catch a heal from this Sylvie here on the limit break. And that good start for Impaler unfortunately didn't last long here. Can Dario still tank up some hits even though he is stopped is the question. If he can do so, Edward Elric might be able to close the gap and deal some damage. He does have a guaranteed hit as well in his kit. And it's a single target attack, which Shadow Lynx's tankiness is mostly AoE. So we'll have to see here. That is a ton of damage from Shadow Lynx on ice. Good God, I think that was a 2-hit chain, and the second one was 7,400? Maybe I missaw that. I don't know. Fight Like a Pirate is on Mariluk, though, so it is a 3v2 in Lucian's favor, but these are both hasted up units for Impaler. Edward Elric, can he land a kill or a good chunk of damage here? Just shy of 3k. I think Impaler probably wanted to see a little more than that, as Sylvie might come in to try and help. Prayer of Resolute Oaths is online. Shadow Lynx, can she land another stop here? That is the question. She's coming in with the Shadow Tether, and she's going to land the stop on Mariluk, and this is rough. Impaler now basically into a functionally 1v3 at this moment, and how do you come back from this? Edward is a strong unit, but I'm not sure that he can pull this off. But he's going to go in the back. Adamantine Pillar does a ton of damage. Actually one-shots the Sylvie. And hold on just a minute, guys. Impaler might just have a chance in this fight. 26 AP for the Shadow Lynx. She is going to Shadow Tether again. Refresh that stop. And guys, basically it's saying, hey, Edward, you're the only one who gets to play this game on Impaler's side. Shadow Lynx on ice is going to clean up the kill for her other self here. Edward Elric coming in might be able to take one of these units out here. Adamantine Pillar again lands the double kill. And Edward says, I don't need any friends. I've got this handled all by myself, guys. The Full Metal Alchemist comes in clutch here, wins the fight over LucianRamz, handing him his first loss of the season. Honestly, very impressive by Impaler. It was a fantastic fight, so hats off to both players, but congrats to Impaler for sure. All right, guys, Week 2 battles over and done with. This is the Heindler Division standings, or Heindler League standings, rather, after the first 2 weeks. Heading into Week 3, we have a two-way tie for first place here with Catrah of Sandrock and Xeno of Polarity. One new player, one returning player. Both teams looking very, very impressive over the first couple of weeks. We have a four-way tie in third with King, coach of Kansas City Killas, LucianRamz of Lone Shadows, Daewn with Inquisition, and Impaler with three-legged pants. We have a four-way tie in seventh with OdaibaDiver, Snark, Dr. Dickhead, and Kyouma. coaches of Odaiba Diving School, Arise from the Crashes, Knobgoblins, and S.E.E.S. And then a two-way tie in last currently with Maughanman, coach of Dirty Slushie, and Sixeight, coach of Zasshu. However, I've said it in other videos, there's so many battles left to go. In this division, there are still 8 battles left for every single player. So even the teams are 0-3, if they won out, they would be 8-3, which would be a very impressive record and very likely to not only get in the playoffs, but maybe even receive a bye. So very much in control of their own destiny, every single team here, and it should be exciting over the next 6 weeks. So I hope you guys enjoyed the battles today. We have one more video coming out this week, which should be the Champions League, and I hope you guys look forward to that one. And if you like this video, like and subscribe down below if possible. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.